guys, this is Araya.
And this is Chris.
And this is the Unfiltered and Unapologetic Podcast.
Hey Chris, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm alright.
That's good to hear.
So, have you heard about the election?
Yes, and I definitely have opinions about that.
Well, let's get into it.
Okay.
So, today we're gonna be talking about the 4B movement, which you already said. Let's talk about how it started. So, I think I saw this on Twitter or TikTok, but it started because in South Korea in 2016 a murder happened, and it was between this male and this female, except he killed her. And you would not believe why.
Why?
So basically, he literally confessed to the police, and he was like, "Oh, I killed her because she ignored me. She didn't want to talk to me. She didn't want to hook up with me." And he did not get charged for nothing.
Oh my god. I think I had heard about the case previously, but I didn't know about the movement, since I think it's retrending right now because of the election. And yeah, that's what I've seen based on TikTok.
Yeah, because just like you said, based off TikTok and everything like that, the 4B movement has been booming. One Twitter post had said, "Let's restart it," and that's what they're doing. They're restarting it. I'm sorry, guys. Okay.
So as far as I know, there's it's 4B because it stands in the Korean, the word is no marriage, no sex, no dating, and no babies, basically. And basically, it's a feminist group that's protesting right now, and the act actually started in 2016, and it has resurfaced 2024 since the elections, and that's basically our topic about today.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive right into no marriage. So let's talk a little bit about what marriage is, because a lot of people just think marriage is it's
simple.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, "Oh, just put a ring on my finger, we're together forever." But that's not really what marriage is,
Yeah, it's definitely more complicated, I feel like.
Yes, more complicated, but people dumb it down some. But really, marriage is the state of being united to a person as spouse in a legal, consensual, and contractual relationship, which means y'all are together legally, names are on papers and everything. And then their duty, as you see in marriages, a lot of women's duties is to take care of the kids.
Traditional housewife.
Yeah, a lot of women are against marriage just because they want to be empowered. They want to have self-determination.
We have the freedom to do so. Yeah,
we don't need to be binded to a relationship. If we can be free, we're gonna be free.
I think I don't know. I think obviously marriage has changed over time, and but I think traditionally housewife, of course, not everybody wants that. And right now, of course, there's healthy marriages, but there's also really unhealthy marriages, and I think it depends on everybody's views for sure. But I think the reason that the reason that we found out, based on our research, the reason that women don't want to marry is because it's kind of a contract in a sense.
Yeah.
And a lot of women are sometimes forced to get married. In some parts of the world, it's still required. Where it's the male takes the girl or whatever. And it's just that gender inequality it has always been.
But then also it's because a lot of women want to grow in their career, want to have better opportunities in their career, and they want to gain independence. They don't want to be dependent on a man to do this and do that when they can just do it themselves.
Talking about marriage kind of leads into dating, which is the stage before you marry someone.
You kind of sign your life away a little bit.
Yeah, that's why usually you date. See, spend time with someone to get to know them. But no dating is also part of the 4B rules.
Yeah.
And various you have relationships that are not necessarily unhealthy, but don't end up working for whatever reason, or you have relationships that are long term, whatever reason. But specifically for the 4B movement, straight women are rebelling it against men basically, and they're saying we don't want to date, and that's just it. And obviously, when you're dating a man, there's a lot of risk, just how any. In anything there's risk?
Dating period, Chris said, dating period is very dangerous. You see crime, on the news, a girl just died because she went on a Tinder date, or a man just killed somebody else because of something happened on a date. People take dating way too far, and just for somebody to meet somebody, to find somebody new, to
as
find
women,
their companion.
You have to be so cautious. Of course, I think of course there's for example, a woman and a woman, there's still risk there.
Yeah.
But the risk, I don't think will ever be the same as a man and a woman. And just because men are unfortunately men.
They're scary. Unfortunately, we're not gonna say that all men are scary, but it's a majority.
Yeah,
a majority
for sure.
of them are make my heart jump, not in a good way.
Based what I researched, women specifically are who are involved in the 4B movement are refusing to date because it's kind of an extension to the
patriarchy.
Yeah. There was this one particular TikTok comment, and this girl who was involved in the 4B movement, who shared her story and advocated. So that's part of the that's how you start getting involved in the
community.
But basically, she shared how she dated a guy for years, and it was a very like toxic relationship, mentally and physically. Like it was just abusive, and after that, she decided to join this specifically because she's refusing to date and she's hesitant because I mean it's trauma basically of dating.
Yeah.
And yeah, like any opinions, Sarah?
Really, like I had said before, like dating is scary and you just have to always watch your back.
Mm-hmm.
Like girls listen out there, like let people know your location, like share your location with anybody, go to public areas, like don't go on a date to the guy's house, don't go on a date where he comes to your house, like always don't go on a date where
Public
y'all locked
spaces.
in like one spot, like
Yeah, for sure.
be open, let people know where you are, like seriously, because it's dangerous out here.
The next B is no sex. So why? What? I think this is kind of a little bit obvious, but women don't want to have babies and nor sexually like be active with men because men like view women sadly as objects of pleasure and just like that's kind of it.
That only makes them feel good, like
Yeah. Like I think right now, like I would say that the movement is like a little bit more bigger and increased since that's where it initiated. But of course, it's starting to like get really like big here, of course. And I think like the more people join, like the more stronger and more like advocates there will be. Like while doing this research, I found out that like Korea's birth rate is really low right now.
oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Basically, the government of Korea is obviously not worrying about women's like health or like if they have that the fact that they're the ones carrying the children and not them. I mean, of course, like they're men. But I think the main worry right now for like the government is like if obviously the population goes down, so does the economy. It will have like a huge impact, and like what government wants that, you know? And I think like women are like refusing, obviously, but it's just so interesting to me how desperate men can be. Like the fact that there's like incel men, the fact they're like annoyed and mad at women because simply women either don't find them appealing or just don't want to have sex with them, and they think it's every woman, and it's a really interesting like factor. I think
like they blame women for the fact that they can't have sex. Like
yeah,
I don't know. That's not their problem.
Yeah. Diving more into that, like there's a university like in Korea right now. It's like a all woman university, and ever since it was founded, it has been a university for women only. So like all female students, and it's like a safe place for students, females. So just the way that there's a Christian like universities out there, and right now this is a big part of the 4B movement and the protest because they're trying to make it a co-ed university.
I saw that.
And something that I found really interesting is on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you can look it up. But basically, the females are protesting. They've been protesting for days, and there's police officers obviously trying to like make sure that everybody's safe.
Trying to de-escalate the situation.
Yeah, and there was a clip where a police officer, a man, was saying to students, quote, "You will later become wives, have children, and parent them." And students started shouting that they would not. And it just, I feel like that's a very off-putting comment to make because in his words, and he came out with a statement saying that it was to comfort them, but I don't think that's comforting.
That's not what you say to comfort somebody. Like I've never heard nobody say that to make you feel better.
Especially when women are like rebelling against like these type of things. And I think like women are not your like pleasure toy or object, and I think that's just period.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Let's go ahead and dive into no babies.
The fourth and last.
The fourth and last final B. No babies. And this is babies is very controversial. Like a lot of people are like, let's have babies. A lot of people are like, let's not. And really, some people go down a path of
there's a multitude of reasons why. Financially, mental health, it's a lot.
Yes, and the list goes on. But for some people to prevent that, they get an abortion, which is where they terminate the pregnancy by removal or expulsion of the fetus or the embryo that's inside their stomach and inside their uterus. You can get it medically, which is drugs or like medical drugs, or you can get it surgically. A doctor can do it at an office or a clinic or wherever you can go to do it. Now, why are women no babies? And it's because really they want to do what they want with their body. Like their body is their body, and you're not gonna tell them to have a baby. You're not gonna force them to do something they don't want to do. If they don't want to have a baby, then just let them not have a baby. Like there's always somebody in the world that will have that baby, but it's just not gonna be me, or it's just not gonna be whoever you decided to be. And like adding on to that, a lot of people also do contraceptives, which is the action of preventing pregnancies, basically.
So like condoms, what's the pill?
Birth control pill. A Plan B, morning after pill. Those are I think are the same thing.
And it's funny that you're bringing like we're talking about this just because like 2024 right now, literally as like the election just passed by, like Trump. I mean, the reason that a lot of women were upset was, I think, even including myself,
Yes,
honestly,
yes,
like I
yeah.
think including myself, just because these are my rights
Mhm.
and they're being taken away.
Mhm.
But the fact that he wants to make abortion illegal,
Yes, as well as
um,
contraceptives. Like he wants to get rid of
yes,
them, like completely wipe them off the market.
I think
If
that
you
was
get
so
pregnant, that was
shocking.
your fault. Is basically what he's saying.
Yeah, I think that was like actually so shocking for me
Yeah.
because I get, okay, like, well, I don't get like making abortions illegal, but
Yeah.
like you want abortions to be legal and take away what prevents people from having children.
Exactly.
Like I don't think it really correlates at all.
Mhm.
And I think personally I'm pro-choice. That's my
Yeah, me as well.
opinion.
Me as
Like
well.
I think we can both agree on that. But again, like I think a lot of women also started protesting and getting involved in this because like basically because of Trump and like the
Mhm.
abortion rights
Mhm.
and how they're trying to be taken away from us.
And it's really like if women don't get it the right way and medically done and professionally done, some of them will turn to the bad way and start taking it out with a hanger. And that can lead to infections, bacteria. They can end up passing away just because they don't want to have the baby at the time, but they have no other way to get rid of it.
Yeah, and women are refusing to have babies because why would you have a baby with a man that is,
Cheating on you.
yeah, or like whatever other reason there is. And
Exactly.
not all women want to have babies. There's women who don't even are attracted to men or attracted to anyone. Period. So I think it's just really interesting the
Yeah.
overall
Aspect of the whole thing
yeah.
altogether.
And I think this just kind of sums up like
Yeah.
our like what's called our key points.
Yeah, our key points of the 4B movement and what we just mainly wanted to cover that with y'all.
And I think that's a wrap.
Yeah. Thank y'all
Thank
so
you
much
guys for watching.
Bye.
And that's it